Good morning, Year 7. Welcome to week 5 of online learning. What you're looking at here is our Google Classroom classwork tab, and I need you to go back into week 4 and find your graded task, which is your healthy eating booklet, and open that up. So here, graded task 3, healthy eating. Now, you should have completed quite a bit of this last week. So this should be completed. Okay. Then looking at this diagram, you needed to explain in your own words what that was telling you. Then you needed to give me some examples of food sources where we find these nutrients in what types of foods. Then you're going to read through the text here and you're going to look at what does it say about a balanced diet. I want you to also now have a think about how cooking methods could make something unhealthy or healthy. And I want you to write something in here. Then you're going to move on to this reflection and you have to fill in every single part of this on page 7. Then you're going to have a look at the food selection model from the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating, and you're going to have a look at that, and then you're going to comment what you think it's telling you and take some notes. And then you're going to read the text here, and from this text here, you're going to then answer these questions in the boxes. Okay? This should bring you up to here, and this is where we are up to this week, week 5. So this is design task 2, healthy eating. This is the design brief. There is a night market opening in Werribee, and Manor Lakes College has asked you to develop a healthy dish for their Asian-themed market stall. The dish needs to follow the guidelines of the Australian Guide to Healthy Eating and therefore include at least 2 vegetables and 1 type of meat or meat substitute, as well as an appropriate sauce and garnish. You'll also need to consider boosting the flavour by adding ingredients such as garlic, ginger, chilli, and fresh herbs. So you need to highlight or underline the constraints and the considerations in that design brief. So what are the rules and what are the options? Then you're going to do some investigating, okay? So you're going to have a look at some Asian cooking, so some stir fries and things like that on the internet, and you're going to just fill in this table with ingredients. They do not have to be the ingredients that you choose. They just have to be ingredients. And you can actually have different types of noodles. You can have egg noodles, you can have Singapore noodles, you can have pad thai noodles. So there's lots of different options there. Okay, it's only a small table, so that needs to be completely filled in. Then you're going to move down to page 11, and this is where you're going to start putting in some design options, okay? And so you're going to list your meat, the 3 vegetables you want, the type of noodle, the 3 different sauces, and then your flavor boosters. You need to have 3 different design options. Then you need to pick one, and you're going to say, I'm going to do option 2, and then you're going to tell me why. Okay, so you need to justify what product you're going to cook from your 3 design options. Then you're going to come up with some evaluation criteria. Now remember, this is how we measure whether a product is successful or not successful. Okay, so remember we have one question regarding sensory analysis. We have another question relating to the design brief. And then we have another question relating to production. Okay, now you can write all your questions in there. You do not need to respond to them if you do not make something at home. Fairly simple, okay? You only respond to the questions if you actually made something at home. Okay, moving along. Now, this is a basic stir-fry recipe. So if you would like to have a go at home, you're going to do your 1 serve of noodles. You're going to do a tablespoon of vegetable oil, 150 grams of meat. Now, The reason why it just says meat is because I don't know what your design options are. You might want to do pork, beef, chicken, who knows? 75 grams of vegetable 1, 75 grams of vegetable 2. You can add another one. Tablespoon of sauce 1, tablespoon of sauce 2. You can add another one. And then you've got your 2 flavor boosters and a garnish. So then this is a generic outline of a method, okay? So it does not say add the chicken. It's going to say add meat, because you need to then put your ingredients into this method if you feel like cooking at home. Then what you're going to do is you're going to evaluate your dish, okay? And that's when you would go back and you would answer these response questions here, okay, after you've made it. Now, this evaluation of the stir fry, you're going to now have to write a written piece. Now, a lot of you got very confused on the last design task. Some of you nailed it and did really well. Some of you need to kind of read instructions a little bit more carefully and follow the video as well. So your topic is healthy eating. You need to now make your sentence starters in relation to healthy eating. So healthy eating is, the importance of healthy eating is, and then continue on your sentence. So this is going to be another essay. Okay, remember an essay has an introduction, it has paragraphs, and it has a conclusion. Now, I have broken this down for you even further. So we have, look at this, we have introduction, what you're going to write in here. Paragraph 1, the topic sentence. The design brief asked me to. In class, we are learning about healthy eating. Finish off the topic sentence. And then in paragraph 1, the constraints and consideration of the design brief were, some of the specifications of the design brief were. So you need to come up with sentences. You do one or the other. You need one from here, here, and here. You get the idea. One sentence started from each box. Don't use both of them. Okay, you don't need to. Okay, so you need to fill this out completely. Now remember, this is a Google Doc, so it's going to just expand as you type into it. Okay, so this has been broken down to topic sentence and into the body of the paragraph, because a lot of you did not do that in the last task. Okay, so we're looking for 4 paragraphs and then a conclusion. Okay, and I want you to write it in here. Not on a separate piece of paper, not on a separate document. I want you to write it in this document and then submit this whole thing to me. Now, you need to go back and finish off anything that you did not complete from last week. Now, there was at least 6 people that submitted their design task booklet to me at the end of last week, and I have returned all of them because we needed to work on it today. They weren't complete. So why would you submit something that's not complete? Okay, so you need to start thinking about it. Okay, guys? So you need to go back to where you finished off from last week. Okay, and you need to get cracking. Now, I want you to all remember this little tip. When you are on Google Classroom and you are in your document, I can open it and see what you're doing. Okay, I can actually see you typing into it. And tomorrow during our class, I will be checking everybody to make sure that they are actually actively working. And if I don't see any results, I'm going to be sending an email home. I might even just call you on the phone. Okay, because there's a lot of people who are just saying, I'm present, and then they don't do any work for a whole double. Okay, so this needs to be completed. If you you didn't do a very good job of the last one, then you need to make up some ground, because there are some gaps in your work. You know who you are if you've been a bit slack. If you have questions, you need to ask them. If you don't understand something, then you need to ask me, okay? Just as if we would be in class. So you need to make sure that you have completed all of these activities within this document, okay? Now, if you're on an iPad, okay, and you can't open up the document to then type into it, you actually need to open it in a new window, okay, and then open it with Google Docs, and that should work. If for some reason it doesn't work and you're one of those few people that does need to attach a different document, that's fine, but I want all your work in one place. Okay, I don't want this document filled out and then a separate page for your written essay. It should all be together. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there. Remember, I'm going to be watching you work tomorrow. I am going to be dropping in onto your documents, into your booklets, and I'm going to be checking that you're actually doing your work. And if you're not, expect a phone call. Okay? So it's time to get busy. We actually don't have that much time left for the end of term. And when you guys return to school, that's when this is going to be due, because we literally have 2 weeks and then we're on school holidays. Okay, so there won't be a lot of cooking, obviously. If you cannot cook at home, anything to do with this design task, then that is fine. I need you to tell me somewhere on this document that you will not be cooking, okay? So you might want to just add it down here and just type in there, I will not be cooking at home.